everybody, welcome to Otaku Saga. I'm Zero.
I'm DK.
And I'm Rizzo. And this
is Otaku Saga Talks.
Where we talk
Yeah.
about the winter 2016 mid-season podcast. We're going to discuss everything up to episode 6, which we're actually a little past right now, but that's where the mid-season's at, so that's where we're discussing up to.
Everyone got that?
So, we're going to start off with one of our favorite series this season.
Oh, yes.
And the one that surprised us with how popular our reaction series for it was.
Bokudake Gainai Machi.
Whew. Also known as Erased. I have to say that like that because it's all caps.
Erased. Sorry,
Bokudake Gainai Machi.
It literally means the town without me.
Erased.
Yeah. Don't ask me.
Brutal mystery series from A1. And I say brutal with like the utmost affection because this will like tear your heartstrings, especially when you get to know Kaio a little more.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
But the mid-season point is...
Yeah, so it's the episode where he rescues Irie from the fire and then goes on the run. He meets up with the reporter guy who used to work with his mother. And then he goes to meet Irie under the bridge and gets caught by the cops.
Yeah, then he
realizes that the murderer is standing right there and then goes back in time again. Or starts to go back in time again.
So up to that point, man, there's a lot that happened.
There is a lot that happened.
To my knowledge, I don't think any of us have actually figured out who the murderer is.
We've made some guesses.
But
made some theories.
Yeah.
None of which are as bad as the serial crusher.
So, yeah, basically our main theory, I think, is the teacher, right?
Believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're probably like miles off, I'm sure, but...
Yeah, right.
Naturally.
Yeah, none of us have read the manga at all, so...
Yeah, none of us has read the source material.
He just seems a little too friendly.
A little too savvy about what's going on,
too helpful.
Yeah.
He seems like a murderer. It's always the ones that you never guess. So that's the one I always guess. DK did it.
Guilty? Yeah. I guess I'm actually from pretty early on in the series, episode 1 or 2.
Yeah.
So, actually, no, it had to be 2 or 3, because, yeah, it ended with him.
But,
going back in time enough.
So, up to this point, there's still quite a lot of questions. I want to know more about... I remember there was one point where Satoru's friend, I forgot the white, Kenya. He was like, "Do you remember where the hideout was?" And kind of looked at Satoru funny with his answer. I think Kenya has something else, or at least very
Kenya
intuitive.
is very, very savvy as well.
Yeah, I've actually, I think I might have mentioned this in one of the earlier episodes, maybe somewhere between 2 and 4. I think Kenya might also have the revive ability.
That might be a possibility. It would be interesting if that happened. Of course, going on ahead a little bit, we find a little bit more about him, but not much.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm kind of waiting on more of Kenya's development, or possibly a big reveal toward the tail end of the series.
But I'm more curious: is all of this actually going to definitively end at the end of this season, or is it going to have a second season?
Well, from what I've read is that A1 is trying to animate it so that the last episode is the end of the manga.
Okay.
Which I believe, as of right now, the manga has actually ended.
Okay.
But I did also read that there's going to be a spin-off manga.
Ooh.
That's going to be, I think it starts coming out next month in April.
So what could the spin-off manga be about then?
I have no idea.
If you were going to
All I saw was the announcement for it.
If you were going to make a spin-off manga, maybe focusing on another character from the series, it would probably have to be Kenya at this point.
Yeah, I don't know.
That or Irie, because there's something about her too.
Yeah.
I wanna see
There's
more
so
of
many
her.
really interesting characters in this series.
And like the only one that you really get into is Satoru and Kaio, which is not bad. I mean, they're both well thought out characters and fantastic.
And the series overall, I mean, I'll say it time and time again, our reactions are usually just like purely facial because the story just sucks you in. It's just, yeah, it commands 100% of your attention.
Yeah.
So sorry about that, viewers. But
I guess some
really
people like
just-
that, but
yeah,
some people probably get annoyed with how much we talk and joke during our reactions, but
I guess it's
literally
change of pace, then.
that is us just that is what we do when we just watch stuff.
Well,
So
We can't stop it.
yeah, we can't stop it.
Yeah.
That's just what we do. So yeah, definitely want to know more about Irie. And definitely found out over the course of the season so far that Satoru's mom, mom of the year, mom of the century, maybe.
she's got it going on.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and move right along. Going from one end of the spectrum of our favorites to the other end.
Oh,
Not necessarily our least favorite, but
Towards the bottom end
not exactly
of our
one of the-
rankings.
well, not one of our favorite ones.
Yeah, Schwarzesmarken. It's very irritating sometimes with like, I mean, it fits. Like, it really does. The writing is done very well, where that's exactly what you'd expect from
The
the
scenario.
East German politics.
Yeah, and the scenario is well written enough.
So where we're up to for this podcast,
Oh no!
up to episode 6. At the end of episode 6, the main character, what's the main character's name again?
Theodore.
Yeah, Theodore sleeps with his stepsister, we say. Yeah.
I wonder how far that actually went. I mean, sleeping with his sister can mean a couple things. I wonder if it actually went
It's
sexual.
based on an arrow.
They
gay.
boinked. They boinked.
They boinked.
They boinked.
They boinked. They definitely boinked.
They definitely boinked. But I really like the mech designs.
I
like-
love the tactical surface fighters. Those things are sexy.
Yeah, I
Holy
really
shit.
like how they're based off of real world aircraft.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's part of the charm here too. I still think though that the TSS of the Schwarzesmarken are too sick looking to be based off of MiG-21s.
But I love the ones based off the F-14s.
Whew, smexy.
And the fact that they use a
Real life squadron.
real life F-14 squadron.
Mm-hmm.
The Jolly Rogers. A lot of politicking in this series.
But considering the setting,
Yeah.
era, that's kind of to be expected.
Yeah. It's not
some-
that surprising.
It's not surprising, but sometimes I feel it's a little bit overplayed. I don't
I
know.
can
It's
agree
just,
with that.
It just
I wish
feels
there was
that
a
way
little bit more action, more mecha fighting.
sometimes. A little less conversation, a little more action.
I definitely want to know more about the leader.
Oh,
The captain?
Yeah,
yeah.
Captain Blonde Girl.
Captain Blonde Girl. Unfortunately, I think the Wikipedia was.
Less than informative when Rizzo here was doing our research.
Yeah, it's not that I look at Wikipedia a lot for this, but usually it's pretty good with characters. However, the one for Schwarzesmarken is just the one for Muv-Love, and it doesn't have any of the Schwarzesmarken characters.
Yeah. So unfortunately, we are character nameless.
Yes. Only
Forgive
the
us.
few that we can remember.
That we care to remember, more likely.
But yeah, she has a very interesting setup, and I want to know more.
Yeah, how all the Stasi agents, just call her like her dog, that she'll sell out everyone, and the backstory that she has. What's her story with the Stasi? I do want to know more. Okay.
But let's go ahead and move right along.
Please tell me something lighter. Something. We're using a die, actually.
Yeah.
We're using a D12 to decide which one we talk about. Dimension. Really? Well, okay. It's a little better.
This is actually another one of my. This is like up towards the top for me in terms of how much I'm enjoying this one. This is really unique to me watching anime.
Dimension W.
It definitely has that Cowboy Bebop,
Wu-Tang.
older style.
Sort of case by case, kind of like anime X-Files.
I like how it does tell you a little bit about the story, the background story each episode, which not every series that we're watching can say.
Yeah, and now with the latest episode, at least up to this midway point, you start to get a little bit of hints of Kiyoma's history as a beast of Grendel.
Yeah.
Which is real, which is definitely something worth looking forward to.
Yeah, so episode 6 had the, African prince boy
Coming to
that was
Japan.
following around Kiyoma.
Yeah. And that Phantos.
Yeah.
And we also got to see a little bit of Mira. We got to see a little bit of how she was
Boybot.
built a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Very well,
Got
yes.
that nice little X-ray. Things that I want to know more about. I actually want to know more about Mary.
Oh, okay.
Like,
Yeah, the
How she got
the woman who runs the illegal coils.
the salvaging operation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of. Oh yeah. But she's able to run an operation like that. She definitely has some history, probably with New Tesla, and it probably ain't good. So that would be interesting to see.
and the other thing is, what is she doing with the illegal coils? Like, is she handing them to Tesla? Is she disposing of them, or is she
Reselling them, perhaps it's a possibility.
maybe restructuring them, or
I think that she's probably handing them over to New Tesla for bounties. Because it seems like Albert, the blonde guy that used to work with Kiyoma,
Yeah.
it seems like he's kind of in on that whole situation, and he works for New Tesla. So
Right. So Mary gets money. New Tesla gets the number coils back.
no, it's the illegal coils.
Any illegal coils, right?
Yeah, well,
Or they get them off the street.
yeah, most of the time they wouldn't get the numbered coils. So
Right.
what they're looking for is the coils that were not built by New Tesla. So that's
Right,
what they're
okay.
looking for. So I think New Tesla probably offers bounties for those, and then Mary is the middleman there.
Yeah, and actually, speaking of the numbers, what is the deal with Loser? Why is he pursuing them so much? I mean,
yeah, we haven't been told much about his
almost an obsession, really.
Backstory.
I wouldn't say backstory. His drive.
Yeah,
Different word for that.
like I said, he seems a little obsessed with them.
Yeah.
So, that has to be a really, really good reason.
Yep.
Kind of like Kiyoma, I'm talking as big as Kiyoma not using technology with coils. So,
Yeah.
And then obviously we got hints for Kiyoma's backstory, but going a little bit further ahead, because we are a little ahead, we've seen that backstory just a little bit,
Yeah.
and it was satisfying,
Oh, it's so
greatly satisfying.
can't wait for that to to finish because it's going to be good. Plus a finale. Waiting for it. Okay, moving on.
Another one of our favorites. Oh,
finally
I look
something
forward
lighter.
to this every week.
Konosuba.
Yeah.
Konosuba!
I love the eye catches in that.
This is probably my favorite series of the season so far.
It's definitely
Absolutely
one of them.
hilarious.
Yeah, so the episode that we got up to is Doulahan's defeat.
The poor bastard.
Poor bastard.
Oh, man.
Oh.
His head gets used as a soccer ball.
No, his place gets blown up on a daily basis.
For months.
For months on end.
His head gets used as a soccer ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he just dies, not like a badass, but just like, dazed and confused.
Yeah.
That's almost as bad as
He
Death by
thoroughly
Trailer.
was not ready for the party of idiots that he had to deal with.
That death was as embarrassing as Death by Trailer. Or by Tractor. Ah.
I forgot. I actually forgot. I had forgotten how this whole anime started.
Death by not being run over by Tractor. Did the writers
when your own family laughs at your death.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just based on how retarded it was.
Yeah.
Did the writers lock themselves in a room for a month and try to come up with the most ridiculous deaths possible? Because I think they might have, and they succeeded.
And then going a little further ahead to where we are now, getting that second chance to go back to Japan, I would love to take that and go slap the crap out of my family. How dare you laugh at my funeral?
Yeah, the only problem with that is that he would be reborn.
Yeah, maybe it would have been reincarnated into a nice, well-to-do family.
Yes.
And I just love how he had second thoughts as he was getting ready to go back to the world he just came from. Oh wait, on second thought, maybe I should.
And then,
yeah. Oh, yay.
But that's just a little bit further than where we're supposed to be talking.
A little bit.
A little bit, yeah. But, oh my god, week in, week out, the laughs just keep coming with this damn series.
This series has us rolling every single week. Week in, week out.
Yeah. The world event of the cabbages.
Oh god.
Oh man, that was hilarious.
Just boom, XP.
And darkness can't hit.
100% miss chance. 100% miss percentage.
What? She's awesome, but as a tank, not so much.
She's good at taking abuse, and that's it.
Yep, that's about it. And that party is just
so messed up.
It's whacked. Yeah.
I want one more person as an attacker. It would be a perfect party if he actually had an attacker. Sad to say.
Or maybe if Megumin actually could use more than one attack a day, which is absolutely pathetic.
Which is absolutely possible.
Don't get me wrong. Her attack is really awesome, but to only be able to use it once a day is so pathetic.
I know, and she could learn other types of magic too. She's an archmage, but she doesn't.
I'm waiting for that one time where she wakes up early in the morning, explosion,
and then is screwed the rest.
And then is screwed the rest of the day, and they actually run into a world boss or something like that, and she's like, I already used it. I'm sorry, I got excited.
I'm like a spider in the bathroom or something. I wouldn't put it past the writers. I really wouldn't.
Man. That'd be absolutely hilarious, and I would love to see it.
I know. All right, my turn. 2. Ah, yes.
Good old ass class.
Ass class.
Assassination Classroom second season. So the episode that we're up to, episode 6 of the new season, is up to the episode where they're helping out. It's not a kindergarten. It's like a...
sort of like
yeah, it's almost like
a private, like a daycare or something.
Yeah, almost like a daycare, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a breather episode.
Kind of cooling down from the Assassination Vacation arc.
No, so the first episode was the last episode of the vacation arc.
Well, it seemed like that whole, the whole series up to this point seemed to be cooling down a little bit from it and introducing a lot of more character development.
Yeah,
members of the E-class.
Yeah, there's a lot of character development. There was a fight during the athletic festival between A-class and E-class.
Right.
And then you get this episode. It's all about them helping out and learning to be decent people, even though they have all these super assassination powers. And then they get their new PE uniforms at the end.
Look pretty badass.
Yep.
And Nagisa with the philosophical with the tree, getting the cat out of the tree.
Oh yeah.
Oh right.
Yeah.
Nice little scene. Sort of episode 6, kind of a feel-good episode.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, really. And you can tell that it was gearing up for something epic.
Yeah.
Which, of course, since we've watched more, we know that there was something epic.
But overall, I mean, all three of us have watched the original Assassination Classroom.
Loved it.
You know, if we didn't watch the first season, we would not be doing a second season.
Yeah.
Because that's just how we roll. Mm-hmm. We want to be
Watch
caught up with
order.
everything. Watch it all in order.
Mm-hmm.
And pretty close together as well. Not like watch one season, wait, and then watch another. So
yeah.
That's the reason why we haven't gotten around actually to a lot of series. So kind of bear with us on that.
Yeah.
We say that a lot. Bear with us on those, but
Assassination Classroom is definitely by far like starting to be one of those classic series.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Where you don't know anime? Watch Assassination Classroom.
Oh, so you're calling it a gateway series already. I can agree with that.
Yeah.
It is really good.
For me, it's probably the best shonen series that I've seen in a long, long, long time.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
And I mean, everything, it has a huge cast of characters, and all of them are really well getting fleshed out.
Yeah.
But it doesn't take incredibly long to flesh out the a good load of the class either. Mm-hmm. And that's amazing, really.
Yeah, because obviously there's the teachers, and then there's the class has like 30 students.
Yeah,
and they added a couple, and
other characters like say even the characters of A class have decent. The principal's son.
Yeah,
I forgot his name.
And the principal.
And the principal himself, obviously.
Asano.
Thank you.
Yeah, but so yeah, even though there's 30 characters in E-class, which are all kind of main characters, it still gives everybody at least a day in the limelight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's a few really good scenes that get the point across.
Yeah.
I mean,
and very well done, writers. Holy crap.
Yeah.
High remarks.
Yeah.
Very high.
When we finally get around to doing the review for this series, this is definitely going to get some high scores. Just, saying that right now. Anyway, shall we move on?
We shall move on to
Saijaku Muhai no Bahamut.
Boom!
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, God.
Up to the Trap Lux.
Yeah, we got up to the episode where Lux cross-dresses so that he can get closer to Celestia.
Actually, I don't think it was to get closer to Celestia.
I think he was trying to investigate her, or...
Well, technically he was trying to investigate, I guess, a pervert on the loose.
Ah.
And those three girls, I don't know their names, but they're not really that important anyway.
The Trap Squad.
Yeah, they had him cross-dressed so that the pervert would try to get him.
They definitely wanted him.
No, they just wanted him to cross-dress.
Yeah.
Completely unnecessary.
Perv.
But, oh man, the beginning of that episode had us fooled. Like 100%.
Totally.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I was like, ooh, new hot character. And then what I think is worse is that the ending had Lux cross-dress.
In trap form, yeah.
In trap form, yeah.
Nice touch, animators, but...
Well
you trolls.
So
as far as the whole series goes, though, I wish that it would do more of the overall story than it is.
Yeah, it's kind of focusing on a member of the harem for like a little snippet, and then it's like back to Lux, I guess the struggle against his brother, trying to resonate all the Ragnarok and all that.
It kind of goes back to last season with Dagashi Asterisk.
Gaku
Sentoshi Asterisk.
Yeah.
And a bunch of those other magical high schools. They are fantastic stories if you actually like flushed out characters.
This one's kind of, don't want to say like the polar opposite case, but slightly opposite case, where the characters we're fleshing out the characters is more of a priority. But, yeah, as a result of the overall story
basically,
kind of suffers a little.
Yeah, because there are so many characters, so many girls in the harem, it makes it so that there's too many Day in the Limelight episodes.
Yeah, as a result.
So, as a result, the main story takes a hit.
Yeah.
I expect in the back half of the series that it's going to just be that main story. So hopefully it'll come back around.
Yeah, make it a little more balanced.
But for me personally, it's not one of my favorites because you're not getting that story.
The story cannot take backseat at all.
Yeah.
You know, if you're going to flesh out characters, you got to add it to the story instead of, making a Day in the Limelight story.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it distracts from the overall plot.
Yeah, now... I know that sounds a little contradictory from what we were just saying about Assassination Classroom, but the difference being is that Saijaku Muhai has 12 or 13 episodes. Assassination Classroom, when all is said and done, it's going to have like 52.
Yeah.
So there's a lot more to play around with there.
Yeah, they have more time, whereas Bahamut simply just doesn't.
Yeah, it doesn't, and it doesn't seem to be using its time very wisely.
Yeah.
Or as wisely as it could.
That comes back to the main problem of most magical high school anime. They rush out, give the Day in the Limelight type episodes, and what should sort of happen is just follow the main character and add on things, to sort of get the interaction with everybody and
kind of use the interaction with the rest of the cast to sort of drive the main story. Mm-hmm. But instead it just seems like, 12, 13 episode long commercials basically for the light novel series. That's what a lot of these series are adapted from.
Well, yeah, and then like this one, so you get like the first couple episodes has the princess, Lisa Charte, I believe.
Or Lisha.
Yeah, Lisha.
For short.
And then it goes into like Crucifer.
Mm-hmm.
Jet, sorry.
Yeah, wow, that was loud. I don't think I've ever heard one that loud here.
That low here.
But anyway,
so you get the first couple episodes as Lisa, and then it moves on to Crucifer. Mm-hmm. And you never get back to, you never
Lisa becomes complete side character.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get like 2 scenes with her, an episode maybe.
Yeah, just
kind
of
of like the last few episodes, she hasn't shown up at all.
Yeah.
And
that really bothers me when series do that.
Yeah, especially
that was
make up your mind.
That was like my main gripe with Sword Art Online. I really like that series.
Very enjoyable visual spectacle, but
it introduces characters, gives them an episode, and then kicks them to the curb.
Kick them to the curb, nothing. Kick them off screen, basically.
Yeah.
Like I said, the only time they show up every once in a while, and
maybe, and just have like half a scene.
Yeah.
So the only time we've seen like Alicia after her arc, as it were, is when she's in the hangar for the drag rides, and when she breaks the window. when he's on his date with when Lux is on his date with Crucifer.
Yeah, it's basically when she's in the hangar working on the drag rides.
Yeah.
Or when she's being jealous. That's it.
That's it.
That's the only thing
that
that
is
she'd say.
annoying. And she was.
I do really like series that have strong characters. That's why I like Bogadake so much. That's why I like Grimgar so much. So
this one, not so much on the character.
Yeah, this one, it's not doing it for me.
I like the visuals and I like the drag ride combat scenes. And I do want to know more about Lux and his brother, but that's going to have to wait.
Yeah.
Moving.
So, yeah, going to a completely different style of series.
But also, it's still kind of the same in some respects as we're going to touch up on.
We have Ao no Kanato no 4 rhythm.
4.
4.
The number 4. It's Ao Kana 4 rhythm across the blue is the English title. It's based off of a visual novel, which I would really like to play. And it's a sports anime. Like, it straight up is a sports anime.
Yeah, with a totally made up sport.
Harem anime.
Yeah, but with a totally made up sport, so there's what? I guess an element of science fiction in there too.
Yeah.
But
a little bit of magical high school.
Yeah, kind of.
Sort of.
But so we get up to episode 6. It's in the qualifying tournament, and it's the match between Asuka and Shindo.
Yeah, so the
where Asuka loses out of the tournament.
I mean, first off, I want to say graphics for this anime.
Visuals are amazing.
The backgrounds are amazing. Even the 3D work, it doesn't look too much like 3D. It's not the conspicuous 3D where you're like, oh Jesus, they could have done better on that.
Yeah, what they make that on NIMAC?
Yeah, right. So, like, visually, it is absolutely stunning. That being said,
again, visual spectacle, characters
are kind of lacking. You surprisingly don't get any backstory for Asuka or Masaya, which is the main male character.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Masaya, I got the feeling in later episodes he might sort of make a comeback, or they'll at least go into his story a little bit. But Asuka, all of a sudden, she just wants to play the sport, and then that's it. It's a little irksome.
She's too much of an idiot.
And at the very start of this anime, you follow Asuka.
Mm-hmm.
You follow Asuka to this island.
Yeah, I mean, what is she doing?
Is she the main character? Is Masaya the main character?
Who is the main character, or is it just all points of view going on?
Even later on, you get even more confused because of Misaki's side story.
Yeah,
So you don't get very much story for Asuka or Masaya, but then you get a crap load of story for Mashiro, the twin-tailed lesbian girl.
Lesbitron.
You get quite a bit of backstory for Misaki,
Yeah.
And it's like, all I want to know is who's Asuka? Like, where is she from?
Now, what's her deal?
What's the deal with Masaya? And what the hell is up with that teacher?
Oh, with was it Raycon?
Yeah, the only thing I can tell with her is that she's a former pro flying circus.
Was she teaching Masaya?
She's old enough probably to have, and actually she looks old enough she very well may have.
Yeah.
So.
And then
but those are the 3 questions that I have, and that has nothing to do with any of the other characters.
Now, do you think they're actually going to answer it before the end of the series?
No.
Yeah. It's a 12 episode series, right?
Yeah,
13.
It should be 12 or 13.
Yeah.
The problem with these series that are based off of visual novels is that they try to meld all the routes together.
Well,
and that's where things start to become confusing. Then you get something like, say, the first Fate Stay Night anime. Horribly confusing.
Well, they can't all be Grisai no Kaijutsu.
You're right. Even that one was a little bit,
Yeah, the first one, Rakuen and, dang it, what's the other one? Make
you.
Thank you.
Um,
That was a little better than the first one.
but yeah, and then so in the qualifying tournament, one of the big things that really ticked me off early was using the club captain Shion, the big muscly dude.
Oh god!
Just as like the bottom bar, like he is the suck baseline.
Wharf factor.
Oh, he's
9.
not even there. He's not even there.
Yeah, Wharf factor 9.
Yes.
Ooh. Who would win a suck off?
Phrasing, bro.
Phrasing, man. Phrasing.
Who would win a suck off?
But
oh god.
seriously, that is the character that you have made with Shion.
Yeah.
You've made a character that is just there to suck.
Like I said, Wharf factor 9. He is a living embodiment of the Wharf effect. That's all he's...
And
Not even necessarily, because it never stated that he was any kind of good.
True. Wharf's a badass.
Yeah.
and almost the same thing
very
can be
least.
said of Mashiro.
Okay.
Now, see, Mashiro, it gave her that episode in the Limelight where she switched from being an attacker to being a speeder, and it really upped her game. Like, she went from being really sucky, probably even worse than Shion, to being
alright.
decent.
But she's
And-
still mainly there as comic relief for gimmicks
comic
with,
relief.
with
She's
Misaki.
there. She's there to lose.
Yeah.
But
But yeah, it
The
just
problem-
bothered me when they did that to Shion, because it's like you know, he's been doing flying circus for quite a while, and sure, that doesn't necessarily mean that he'll be any kind of good. But when he went into his match, he lost, what, 21, 22 to
20
nothing?
to 0.
Yeah, it was like, wow, really?
scrub.
You couldn't even let him have a point.
Right?
You
got
just
absolutely
wanted him to
whipped.
suck that bad.
okay, so here's when I say 3 questions: who's Asuka, who's Masia, and who's that damn teacher? Mashiro's day in the limelight, right? We had an entire episode where we barely saw anybody else but Mashiro. And then, in the tournament, she loses like a bitch.
Yeah, like first round, right?
Like complete...
Scrub. Just wrecked.
Yeah, there's no reason for a day in the limelight for that character.
Yeah. She's there pretty much solely for comic relief.
Yeah.
And that's it.
So what should have happened is she should have stayed comic relief, focus on what needs to be focused on, which is Asuka, Masia,
And Reiko Sensei.
maybe Misaki, just as that
Misaki.
assistant character.
Yeah. So,
As someone who's also really good at the very least.
yeah.
At least have her
So, I mean,
use it as the Wharf
it
effect.
sucks that they have to use those kind of characters like Mashiro, Shion.
Yeah, the focus episodes are kind of misplaced, is what you're getting at, right? Mm-hmm. I totally agree with you. Please explain Masaya. I really hope they at least explain him.
So, getting right back into it. Dagashi Kashi.
Oh my
Kashi.
Dagashi Kashi.
Very episodic. Very, very, very episodic.
Yeah, you'd think it was a Young Kama adaptation.
You got 3 episodes. You almost got 3 episodes an episode.
Pretty much. It's kind of little.
It's usually like 2 episodes an episode.
I said it's like a Young Kama adaptation. It's just a collection of funny little anecdotes and instances.
Yeah.
Which I don't mind.
Can get a little repetitive.
A little bit further down the line, it kind of got away from it. But that's a little further down the line. We're only doing up to
The episode with the Super Hemo Q, the really long freaking gummy, which, by the way, is actually longer than they say it is.
We measured it.
it hurts like hell.
Yes.
Yes, it does.
And then also
Shit
that episode
stings.
was the playing doctor with the yogurt candy.
Ugh. Damn it, coconuts. You dense mofo.
So dense.
I know.
Yeah. But,
Well, yeah, what do you expect, right?
yeah, so The series really started as just really episodic, kind of showing the craziness of Hotaru. And then since it's either evolved or devolved, depending on how you look at it, to pretty much just the Saya being cute show. For me, that's an evolution.
Though a lot of our viewers think that's a devolution.
Yeah.
So
I really like Saya, so I don't
so.
mind these episodes.
Yeah, I was kind of expecting the series to focus more on the plot of Hotaru and Yo trying to get coconuts to run the shop.
Yeah.
And it was expecting really funny sort of harebrained schemes like you got in the pool episode. I was expecting more of that and haven't really gotten it. And if it's focusing a little bit more on, like, say, Saya, maybe her relationship with coconuts, and by the way, I ship that harder than FedEx, I probably shouldn't be holding my breath on that. So that's a little disappointing, but I still enjoy the series because it definitely has a lot of really, well, one, adorable, and two, really funny moments.
My problem, like, I don't have a problem with the character Hotaru. I really don't. But having a ditzy, crazy fan service girl be the main character, more or less,
One of the main characters.
Yeah.
is getting old.
I can see what you mean.
Actually,
I'm glad that it's being shipped. I'm glad that Saya is shipping it. And hard.
kind of the focus is shifting over to her.
Yeah.
So I apologize to those people who like Hotaru, but are you going to look me dead in the eye and say you're looking at Hotaru for something other than her tits? Other than her?
I mean, pretty much. She is.
She's.
I never really liked characters like that to begin with. The really stupid.
Well, but that's the thing, though. If you sort of give Hotaru a backstory, then she kind of becomes like Misato from Evangelion. At first, Misato was pretty much purely fan service, but toward the latter end of that series, she becomes like stone cold killer serious and everything, and it kind of.
Yeah, but even that, you know that she is, in the beginning, she is mostly, fan service and is not actually there to be the relationship.
Sort of. The beginning of the series tries to give that angle, but it just, for me, it doesn't really work.
And she's not stupid.
Yeah, but, I mean, again, that kind of goes back to their lack of focus on the plot of convincing coconuts to run the shop. If they kept to that, I think Hotaru's development as a character would have been a lot better than it has been.
Yeah.
Instead of just being a fan service character. So
yeah, either actually flesh out the character or flush her down the toilet.
That's not going to happen.
That ain't gonna happen.
She is like the face
far
of
too
the series.
Yeah, she's far too entrenched in the series to do that.
But that's...
Yeah.
Maybe push her on to the side, I guess, kind of like what they're doing now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still kind
and
of.
then also, Jesus Christ, Toe.
The butt monkey.
Yeah, flipping up his own sister's skirt.
To give his homie a look.
Perf.
Wingman of the year.
Right. He knows that he's going to get punched.
And how?
Or kicked.
But he loves it.
Yeah, he kind of really does.
Yeah. He don't care.
You could tell that he just likes really messing with people.
Hilarious.
But it was a little weird that he chose to flip up his own sister's skirt.
And not Hotaru's.
Yeah.
Why not both?
Well, he didn't.
Yeah, I know.
He didn't get the opportunity.
Bam!
He chose poorly.
I would have dual-wielded that stuff.
Right.
Whoop. There's no chill here. No class either.
Nope.
Anyway.
Moving on. Ah. This is quite possibly, this next series we're going to talk about, quite possibly our most, like, how to put it, this is a series that we've agreed on the hardest. As our favorite.
This is my number one for the season.
Yeah, this is definitely unanimous number one pick.
Yeah.
I don't know. What's you, Rizzo?
So we got Haito Genso no Grimgar.
Magnificent.
So freaking good. So good.
Yeah, another artistic, feelsy treasure from A1.
Yeah.
Yeesh.
So you want a anime that can flesh out all the characters episode to episode and have a solid relationship with all those characters like I want in every single magical high school I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you do it.
Yeah. Haito Genso no Grimgar is just well written. Like that's what you can say about it. It is so well written.
So well written, so well animated.
One slight gripe, though. No one's writers or even characters in the series haven't really asked the question, how the hell did they get there? How the hell did everyone get to Grimgar in the first place?
Which I think is something that they touch up on a little later in the series.
I can only hope so.
I'm sure that they either would or they have touched up on it later in the novels.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they're going to get to it in this anime season. Hopefully it gets another one.
Hopefully it gets another one. It's going to need another one to explain that.
Yeah.
Because of how much impact and time it took to really fully explain Minato's death did. So
yeah.
So
episode 6 was the episode right after Minato's death.
Yeah. But if
the feels. Oh God.
That was brutal.
It was one of the most well written like grief.
Yeah.
Like just showing
it was very real.
The different levels of grief.
Different types.
And how people dealt with it.
And it was exactly as you would imagine it for each character. Ranta was angry as hell about it.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't call it angry. I would call it more standoff. I don't want to deal with it.
I want to just go to the pub and just whatever.
Yeah. I want to just move on.
Yeah.
I don't want to deal with it. Which, oddly enough, is almost exactly how I deal with it. So I can relate to that.
And that's why you're cosplaying as him.
Because I can't get into death.
Yeah. Whereas like Moguzo just kind of clams up.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to talk. He like
I don't want.
He's more open than Ranta, but
he's like I don't want to.
Yeah, he definitely internalizes it.
Yeah, he's a lot more introspective about the whole deal.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of folds up a little bit, as it were.
And then all three of the male characters, they turn to drinking, basically.
Yeah.
And then the female characters are actually. We didn't get to see much of the female characters. In that episode, we didn't get to we saw Yume at the end crying on
Haruhiro.
Haruhiro's.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
Which was absolutely adorable.
Yeah.
But
oh my God, Yume.
Yume needs to be added to our collection.
Yes.
Yes. Get on it, figure makers.
But yeah, other than that, you didn't really see much of the female side of the.
And how they dealt with it.
Well,
you could definitely tell that it was really, really hard on Shiharu.
Very hard on Shiharu.
Actually. And I think Yume was trying to act strong,
but
for Shiharu's sake.
Yeah.
But obviously, the male character shutting them out wasn't very helpful to them. So.
But again, I mean, a very realistic portrayal of grief.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Every single bit.
And that's one of the strengths of the series is just how it portrays everything in there. You know, you suddenly wake up in a fantasy world like some D&D campaign, as you alluded to in the first episode.
All my D&D campaigns started off that way.
You wake up in a room. There's other people there.
The writing's lazy.
Form a party.
But still, I mean, yeah, that's a very plausible. It's very plausible that things would go down that way.
Yeah.
I mean, we could literally, I could literally sit here and talk about this anime in length for an entire podcast.
Yeah, we're good. Let's move on. Let's move on before you get the idea.
Yeah. This anime, though, absolutely fantastic. I love how real it is, and it is what it is, you know?
Yeah, it's like I said, it's a unanimous favorite, I think.
Yeah.
So, right. Move on. Double zeros. We already got one.
Reroll.
7.
Okay, so we got Musagi no Phantom World.
KyoAni making up for free.
Trying to.
Now,
so the series started out decent. A little bit too much fan service, even for my taste, which is saying
definitely
saying something. Like it was too much. Like at the very beginning, it was way too much fan service.
And then it just...
Like just where it didn't make sense in the series.
Grow up self, get superpowers.
And then it reeled back on it so hard. I almost got whiplash from it.
Yeah, and then, so like the first couple episodes, it's like fan service, and then suddenly it's like, nope.
Let's go hunt phantoms.
Well...
Serious character.
Yeah, no, they tried to make it serious, and it's still not working.
Yeah.
So episode 6 is up to where the main character goes into the teddy bear kingdom.
Oh, yeah.
The Golden Rake.
Yeah.
I mean, Bear Claw. Bear Claw.
It's almost to the point where the series has jumped the shark. It's starting to get to that point.
When was the yoga scene? I think...
No, that was it. That was in like episode 2.
Yeah, I think that's about when it jumped the shark, truthfully.
Yeah, basically they're like discussing how they're going to do something, like how they're going to tackle this phantom.
Yeah.
But all the girls, including the genie,
they're in their bloomers and
they're in their PE bloomers
doing yoga in class.
Yeah. Why?
Forget jumping the shark.
It makes literally no sense where the series is.
Yeah, forget jumping the shark. You might as well just call it gym class yoga now. It just seemed that.
But it just, the fan service is oddly placed. And then, really forced in the first episode. Obviously, if you haven't seen the first episode or the scene that everybody is talking about.
Now, I can almost guarantee if you've been on social media this season, then you've seen the scene.
The best game of Limbo ever.
Definitely, and I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I had a fantastic laugh
that
about
one,
it.
like, it was kind of weird, but it was actually well placed.
Yeah.
Whereas the scene in, I believe it was the second episode where they're all doing yoga in the classroom while trying to discuss a battle plan, that is not well placed.
Yeah, this series is kind of on and off with the fan service.
If they stuck
moments.
with how the fan service was in that scene, where it was actually part of what's going on. And
a nice little funny, anecdote to go along with the action.
Yeah, that would have been fine, but some of the other parts where they just force fan service down your throat.
Yeah, they just force feed the fan service.
And then, episode 3 comes along, and you start getting into the backstories of everybody.
And it's just no fan service. Sucker.
Fan service whiplash.
Yeah, we already got you.
You're hooked in. Okay, now strap him down, make him watch the story.
As far as the characters go and the character development goes, though, I do like that they've introduced all the characters. They've given all the characters at least some sort of backstory.
Mm-hmm.
So that was okay.
Altogether, this world is fantastic.
Yeah, the overall world the story is in. If it just didn't force the fan service so much, and actually try to go a little bit more down the traditional irregular Magic High School route, it might have actually been better. I think.
Which is weird. I like the characterization. If I could learn how to speak English, but it does fall into that same problem that Saijaku Muhai no Bahamut does, where it does the Day in the Limelight episodes, and just kind of and then you don't get much of the characters after that.
And like I said, going back to Haitu Genso no Grimgar, that is how you want to make character development. It would fit much better like that. Mm-hmm. Nice group shots. Everybody's together. If you have...
sometimes you have two or three characters breaking off. But that's fine. That's how you do it. But where really like Musagan, it's...
in this episode.
Yeah. So the main character goes into the world with the lolly by themselves, and you don't get any of the other characters.
Yeah, I believe when we were reviewing Sword Art Online, what we call it, sniper vision, basically. You focus on maybe on 1-2 characters.
Yeah, very tunnel vision.
Yeah. And then they're out of scope for the rest of the, for a good load of the series. This is actually not as bad on the tunnel vision.
Because after those Day in the Limelight episodes, it does come back and you get all the characters.
And they're still a little more involved than, say, in... Bahamut or Saijaku Muhai no Bahamut or even SAO. But again, I mean, if it actually subscribed to a few more cliches and didn't try to force, kind of abruptly change moods and kind of force fan service, I think it would have been better than it is. They have a few more episodes though, so here's hoping it sort of redeems itself at the very least.
Yeah,
I want the next, because where we are at, there is still not a real story to it.
Yeah.
I want there to be the next the last 3 episodes. I want to actually have some significant story to it.
Yeah, I mean, other
where
than
where it is, it's just episodic.
Yeah, it's just they get this little club, just takes down these monsters, and really that's it.
It's Phantom of the Week.
Yeah.
Anyway,
so the next one, which is one that we're actually a little bit behind on. Okay, a lot behind on posting the reactions for, is Kokaku no Pandora.
The Brain Melter.
Yes, the Brain Melter. It is a series that's made by the same guy that did
Excel Saga,
Ghost in the Shell, character designs, and I'd have to think at least some sort of story from the guy who did Excel Saga.
Yeah.
It's a brain melter.
It's hilarious.
This is a match made in hell. I mean, Ghost in the Shell, the prototypical cyberpunk action flick of the 90s. I mean, at least, it inspired The Matrix, for God's sake. Mm-hmm. Excel Saga, what the hell?
Meets basic episodic craziness. That outdoes Fooly Cooly.
I can see, Excel Saga is pretty damn out there. But it's
just not compute. Yeah, it's...
I mean...
kind of going for a cyberpunk style world of, what Ghost in the Shell was, a little bit, like a cutesy version of that.
Yeah.
Meets the episodic craziness that was Excel Saga.
But it kind of just I don't know, it doesn't... Those two don't really mesh that well. It just kind of feeling sort of blah after each episode. At least it does for me.
When it first started off, it was absolutely fantastic. Mm-hmm. I loved it. I love the idea.
Love the idea.
As we get into the more episodic nature of it, you got away from that main storyline, and that storyline took you see the main storyline in the last 20, not even 20 seconds of the episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's basically what it is. It's an episodic... Each episode is completely different.
But it has...
And then at the last, minute of the episode, it's showing what the antagonists are doing.
Yeah, it's just, Nene clearing, get into a little trouble, get out of it somehow. Shadowy antagonist who doesn't interact with Nene and clearing at all. And then that's it. It's just...
My hope for the rest of the series is that the actual story comes about a little bit more.
And considering the source too, it may take to the very last episode for the two story elements to actually mesh together. I would not be
piss me off.
That would piss me off, but I wouldn't put it past the creators.
Because it really is, fantastic. The world is fantastic. I love the art style. I love
there's a lot
the
I like
majority
about
of it. And the first 2 episodes were fantastic.
Actually,
stuck with it.
Yeah, I actually like how Nene and Clarion actually interact together as well. Kind of, funny man, straight man combo there. I like that too, but just protagonists, antagonists are just so damn disjointed. It's just
Bring them together.
It's all there, and like I said, it just kind of makes you feel blah.
And then what's going on with what's her face? We haven't seen her since the 2nd episode.
Oh, with the Shahar or Sahar.
Yeah.
Yeah, the doctor who created clearing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, again, I wouldn't put it past him to have her come back all of a sudden on the second to last or last episode, just for the sake of randomness. Piss us off.
What's up, bitches? I'm back.
Really?
Basically.
Yeah, would not
Here's
be...
my giant robot. Come back to take over the world.
You're still waiting on that giant Tachikoma, huh?
Very much so.
The opening is nothing like the anime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
right.
And then, so, last but certainly not least...
Oh, yes.
...of the series that we're still watching, we have the second half of Gate.
Ooh.
Yes.
We watched all the first 12 episodes, right?
Yeah, I think it was 12 episodes.
Watch every episode to date, and oh my goodness, every week it comes out. We're all looking forward to it because it always delivers.
When it ended the first time, and we're like, that's the ending?
Yeah. Yeah, so when the first half of it came out, I don't think any of us knew that it was actually going to be a full, 25 episodes.
That they were going to take a season break.
Yeah, and then it's we get up and it's last episode of Gate. Okay, let's see how they're going to wrap this up. Not at all.
No, you better come back or else.
Yeah, and then it's will be continued in January. It's oh, thank God.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it was you mother... Really?
So what I like that they're doing
Gate.
in the new part of it is that they've gone to doing a couple of different stories going on at the same time.
But yeah, it's not so disjointed. The stories that they've crafted, say the Ambassador and Long. Wait up. At what point?
We're not up to that yet. So yeah, ignore him. So yeah, we're up to where Itami's group first shows up to the magical city of Rondell.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
And then at the end, it has the other side of the story where it's showing what's going on in the capital with Pina and the ambassador and all that. And it has the attempted assassination of the emperor. He's not dead. He's in a coma.
He's messed up.
Yeah. And so his first son takes over, I guess.
Lord Douchebag,
who's being manipulated by Bunny Bitch.
Our nicknames.
Gotta love our character nicknames.
All right.
But, so, backing up to the episode previous, I think it was one episode previous, where they actually kill a fire dragon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do believe that was one episode previous.
Yeah, because that's before they arrive in Rondell and they bring in the dragon's head in. So it had to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boom.
Oh.
Just
fucking epic. Absolutely.
Bam.
Awesome.
Yeah. Totally. I mean, that's all you can say about it. The only thing that I didn't like with that episode was the Dark Elf Squad.
Cannon fodder.
I mean, yeah, it is understandable that, they panicked in battle and they couldn't use the new weapons even though they had been trained on them.
But come on.
Every single one of them?
Yeah, not a single one did anything before being slaughtered like a bunch of whiny little peasants.
Nice reference.
You were all level 1.
Yeah, you're level 1 against a level 20 dragon. Goodbye.
You're crunchy and go with ketchup.
Yeah.
But, so, with that episode, we got to see Rory's fear of the underworld.
You got to see a little bit more of her fear of Hardy,
Yeah.
the goddess of the underworld,
Yeah.
who wants her for her wife.
Goddess, what? Never mind. Not going to get too far into that. However, it certainly gives a nice look to the future on where storylines might be able to go.
Which is a lot, though, because as Rizzo mentioned earlier, it's a lot of different stories going on at once, but they're written so you can tell somewhat easily how events there are going to affect events elsewhere.
Yeah.
And that is, I think that's the real genius of the writing here.
Yeah. Yeah, and it just works very well how, they can show what's going on in the capital or at Altus, I believe, where
Alnus.
where they have their base set up by the gate.
Yeah, Alnus, I think.
Alnus. It does really well where it can show what's going on there, and then it can go and focus back in on Itami's group, and you still get a little bit of what's going on back at the capital.
Yeah.
Through like messengers that show up, and rumors that are coming from the capital.
And by the way, oh, I know that's the next episode.
Womp womp.
Womp womp.
Damn it.
This is the problem of filming these podcasts a little late.
Yeah, a little late. Oh man, but yeah, this is still a fantastic anime.
Yeah.
And,
I mean, if we were not only counting a series that premiered this season, I don't know, it'd be between this and Grimgar for our absolute favorites, if we're doing it that way.
For me, I think Grimgar really takes it for me. Bokudake Gai Naimachi is up there, and Konosuba are up there.
So, in short, if it's an A1 fantasy series, odds are it's going to place really well with us. We're not biased at all.
I do really love A1 though.
Oh yeah, love their work.
you just can't deny that it's fantastic.
Yeah, I mean it really is.
Yeah.
So.
Anyway, I think that's about it, isn't it?
For what we're watching.
For what we're watching.
Yeah. There's a lot more out there, and
yeah, we ended up dropping a lot of the series that just weren't doing so well for us because our real life work really started screwing over our schedule. When you only get like 2 hours to film, maybe.
And even less time to edit and
Yeah.
upload. There's only so much we can do, and again,
Hopefully
sorry
that
about
changes
that.
soon, but
Yeah, hopefully that'll change soon. But for the time being, us working the jobs we are, or working any jobs period, please bear with us, and thank you for sticking with us so far,
yeah.
because you guys are awesome like that.
And
And
1,000 subs.
And 1,000 subs.
oh yeah,
And as of this moment, right now,
we are at
1,005.
Ooh.
Naru?
Mimimaro. Mimimaro.
That is our 1,000th subscriber.
So I was going to tell, yeah.
Yeah.
So thank you for being our 1,000th subscriber.
And here's to the next 1,000. 10,000. 100,000 million.
Hopefully more.
Hopefully more.
You love us, right? 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 Why are you walking away? We love you.
Anyway, I think that's about it for our first episode of Otaku Saga Talks.
Then boy, did we talk.
Yeah. And by the way, if somebody has a better title, we would love it.
That's a way to get the comment section flooded.
We are really not very creative with some of our titles.
Sorry.
Anime Reaction, Otaku Saga Talks,
Anime Review, Cosplay Corner.
So
we like to keep it simple.
Otaku Saga Plays.
But yeah, as simple as our titles may be, it'll never be as simple as Pixar films.
very true.
Cars. Just saying.
Yeah.
And on that note, I'm Zero.
I'm DK.
And I'm Rizzo.
See you next time.